Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today we're checking in on my 2019 goals. If you guys didn't see the 2019 goals video that I filmed at the start of the year, I'll link it up in the cards for you guys. So in this video, we're just going to go through all of those goals and check in on them and see where I'm at. I don't check in with most of these goals until this point in the year. I don't like to know because I don't want to know if I'm failing, which is stupid, but for some reason I'm like superstitious about it. I just don't like to know. I don't overly focus and try to figure out if I'm on top. Like I keep an eye on in terms of that I try to make sure that I'm doing things to do it, but I don't actually check how I'm going, if that makes any kind of sense. Anyway, let's jump in and talk about them. So the first reading goal that I had was just your standard Goodreads reading challenge. I set my challenge this year at 220 books. So ideally, halfway through the year, which I should mention for me, I cut this off at the 30 June mark. I just like to keep it nice and even. The first 6 months of the year, 30 June, that's what I do. And as of the end of 30 June, I had read 133 books. So definitely on track. I mean, I guess you would want to have read like 110. So I guess I'm like 20 books ahead of schedule. So very happy with that figure. My second reading goal, which is one that I've had for several years, was to read the next 10 books that were on my physical to-read list. So I have this old spiral-bound notebook that has every book that I've wanted to read written out in it, and it pre-exists my Goodreads to read. And so I wanted to read the next 10 books that were on that list. So far, I've read 3. I've read Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, The Good Daughter by Honey Brown, and The Jane Austen Book Club by Karen Joy Fowler. I own 2 others, which would take me to 5, and I have 4 others out from the library, which takes me to 9. So if I read all of those that I have in my possession, I'm already at 9. So even though I've only read 3, I feel like there are things in place that are gonna hopefully help me achieve that goal. So we're kind of on track, kind of. The third reading goal that I had was to read 10 of the first 20 books that I have marked as to read on Goodreads. So far I've read 2. I've read Creed by Trisha Lever and Lindsay Curry, and I've read I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I own 3 others, which would take me to 5, and I have 2 out from the library currently, so that would take me to 7. So I'm not as on track with this one as the previous one, but again, I am taking steps. I'm trying to every month or so request one of the books that I don't own from the library so that I can take, steps to achieving this goal. So I'm still hopeful, even though I've technically only read 2, which seems like I'm really far behind, I'm still hopeful that I can get that done by the end of the year. My next goal was to read 70 books from my physical TBR that I owned prior to 2019. So if I bought the book this year and read it this year, it didn't count. It had to be books that I already owned before this year even began. So halfway through the year, I should have read 35 to be kind of on track. And I've read, I looked at the wrong number then. I've read 31. So I'm behind, but I'm actually really happy with that number. I had the same goal last year and I didn't get anywhere near it. And I actually thought that I was really far behind on this. And so when I did the tally and realized I was at 31, I was really happy with myself, because a lot of the reading I was doing right near the start of the year, I was reading some series, and to get through the series, a lot of the later books in this series were books that I had that I had purchased more recently, and so weren't books that I'd owned prior to this year. And so I wasn't getting through as many books that I owned prior to this year as what I maybe would have, but I'm at a place in my TBR now, which I've mentioned, where I'm reading a lot of standalone, so I am getting through quite a few books. So I'm hoping that I can even read maybe more than 70. I'm not changing the goal because I don't want to set myself up for failure, but I feel like even though it looks like I'm kind of behind, I feel like I'm on track and that I can achieve this year, because I was so far off achieving it last year. So I'm really hopeful that I'm actually going to be able to achieve that this year, which I would just be like, pat on the back, Karen. I'm really hopeful. My next reading goal, which was again a reading goal that I've had for several years, was just to complete the Around the Year in 52 Books challenge. So there are 52 challenges. So again, ideally I should be 26 challenges complete. I have completed 33. So I'm very on track. However, I've checked off all of the ones that were like more easy to check off. The ones that I haven't checked off, the remaining what, 19 are more difficult. Some of them, I would say maybe like 10 of them, I've got a book in mind that's on my physical TBR that I'm hoping to get through that'll check off those. But then there are still maybe like another 10 or so, maybe a little bit less than that, that I don't even think I've got a book that will check it off. And so I will have to identify a book, request it from my library, or otherwise manage, like get my hands on one and then read it. So I'm not as confident as I have been in previous years that I'm going to be able to complete this in time. I'm hopeful and I'm going to try. I'm going to do my damnedest, but we'll see. You do get one wild card, which you could, so potentially there's only 18, but that doesn't really help me that much. So, and I like to complete it all, but we'll see, unless there's like a challenge that just does not interest me. But I'm hopeful, kind of. My final reading goal was to reread 6 books / series. So far I've read 2. I reread Vicious in preparation for reading Vengeful. And I also reread Faking Perfect. I'm not including my rereads of like the Babysitter's Club because that would just be too easy. So I've read 2. So I'm a little bit behind, but again, I feel like I'm in a better place now where I'm getting through more books, that I'm able to slot rereads in a bit easier because I'm not trying to slog through so many huge series. So I'm hopeful again that even though I'm technically behind, that I can still achieve that this year. So then finally onto my channel goals. I had 2 channel goals for myself this year. The first one was to caption all of my videos. And I really have failed at this. And this is an excuse, but it's partly due to the time commitment. So when I first set this goal, when I was uploading my videos, because YouTube does, like, you can auto caption it, but it's particularly, I don't know if it's because I'm Australian and I have an accent compared to the American-based YouTube system, it doesn't get it right. In fact, it's really wrong sometimes. And I think also because I'm a fast talker, which I try not to be on video, but I know that I don't always achieve that. So you do have to go through and like fix it up. And when I was first set this goal, when I would upload a video, the captions would be there pretty much straight away so that I could go through them. And then not long after, I said it maybe after the first like month or couple of weeks, it stopped coming up straight away. And in some circumstances, when I was still doing this, it would take like a couple of days for the auto captions to upload, because it's a lot quicker for me to go through the auto captions and just fix the errors than it would be for me to literally type out an entire video. Particularly because I do have a tendency to ramble on sometimes, and I know my videos are longer than some other content creators. And so I haven't been doing this. I basically gave up on it around, I don't even know, I haven't looked, but early-ish on in the year. It's something that I would really like to do because I would like my videos to be accessible to a wider audience, but it's just like I work full time. I've got shit going on. You know, I don't have the time to commit to having my videos captioned, and I'm not like a huge YouTube channel where I could open it up to, you know, the public to have them caption my videos for me, because like, who's gonna do that? So it is something that I would like to do, and even if I don't do it on every video, but just occasionally when I have time, when I have a bit more time and I upload a video and the captions are there, that I could go through and do it. Even if it wasn't every video, it was a bit more sporadic, I don't know, but it's definitely not something that I've achieved this year, which is disappointing. But then my second and final goal that I'm going to discuss, my second channel goal, was just to edit less, and I have definitely achieved that. I used to think that there's no way I could be the type of person, oh, I'm getting a low battery warning, got to rush through the end of this, that I didn't think I'd ever be the type of person who could not like heavily edit my videos, because I felt like you would have to memorize a lot of what you were gonna have to say. And it's not that I script my videos, but when I'm talking about books that I've read, I don't remember everything that I want to say and I have to refer to notes. But I wanted my videos to feel more off the cuff and more like a chat with my viewers, because I want to have more of that personal connection feel, because they're the types of videos that I personally enjoy watching. And so I really made an effort with it at the start of the year, and I found it easier than I thought I would. And it's gotten even easier as I've gone on. And I think it's also easier that I've moved to a format like recently with my recent reads videos, that I'm not talking about books that I read 4 weeks ago. So they're much fresher in my mind. So I can just kind of speak off the cuff about them. I don't need to refer to my notes as much. And I don't mind in the videos that I watch, and maybe people hate it when they watch my videos. I don't know, but it's what I like, so it's what I'm going to create. I don't mind when someone occasionally like looks down and refers to it, as long as they're not going like, and there's 10 minutes of silence. I don't want that, but if I'm just like occasionally referring, or you see my notebook flip around in the air as we're going through this, or you see me refer to it, like that doesn't bother me as a viewer. And so I strive to create the type of content that I want to see on BookTube. So I think I've done a really good job with this, and I really like that move in my videos. I really like a lot, but I didn't have any problem with my videos before, but I think that's been a good shift in the like vibe of my channel. I can't believe I just said that. But yeah, so I would love your guys' ideas on if you have noticed that my videos feel more chattier. I mean, sometimes it can be a bad thing because like I said, have a tendency to ramble, but I'm okay with it because it feels more personal. I really do feel more these days like I'm having a chat with my viewers. So I'm happy with it, and I think that I've been very successful at editing less this year. So that's it. That's my goals and where I'm at with them. I'm doing pretty well, kind of, with most of them. I'm hopeful that I can achieve most of them. But I guess we'll see in another 6 months whether I manage to do it or not. So I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you have any thoughts on any of my goals and how I'm doing on them, or how you guys are going with your goals. Did you guys set yourselves any goals this year? How are you doing with them? I would love to know. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. That is all I have for this video today. Bye guys.